Good morning. Welcome in for another Friday safety focus of the week. Today is Friday, March 29th, our last day of quarter one of 2024. This week's code of conduct is to respect the property of others. Is there anything you would like to highlight, Ben Dow?
Yeah, is my mic on?
Yes.
Good. I was having problems with it again. Yeah, this one's about. I always think of this one as being considerate for how other people feel about their property and their things. Sometimes you're like, it's just a driveway or it's just a this, but people take it personally when we affect their property, just like we all take it personally when somebody does something, and it can be just a simple little thing like turning around in someone's driveway. And I get involved a lot of times when this does happen, just because people get upset and they call, and we go over and look at it sometimes. And if it's a driveway, it might be just a little mark that you can sweep off with a broom. So a lot of times it's just having that consideration for others, which is part of our culture, is part of our code, and it's part of being professional and being seen as a considerate company.
Yeah, perfect. Well, excellent job this past week. Let's finish the week off strong. Another 7 days in the books without recordable or first aid. So let's finish it off strong today with a good JHA. Start the day off with a good plan. Pre-planning, again, is most important to safety, and then identify those hazards and how we are controlling those hazards utilizing the hierarchy of controls. Well, April 1st is just right around the corner, and April is National Dig Safe Awareness Month. So I thought I'd kind of start us off a little early. Plus, we have a lot of jobs starting up in the next couple of weeks. So calling in a lot of dig safes. So we want to really make sure that we do our best to maintain marks. I know we will be battling for service. So if there is any issues with showing up to sites without any marks, please contact Health and Safety so we can assist by making some phone calls to making sure that we are getting utility companies out there in a timely fashion to put marks down for us so we can prevent damage to underground utilities, so we can follow the code of conduct and respect the property of others. So a quick little thing just on the law. This is a state statute. It is a state law here in Vermont. No person or company shall engage in excavation activities except in an emergency situation without pre-marking the proposed area of excavation activities and giving notice as required by the section. So it's just saying that we're going to call ahead and we're going to pre-mark. We need to really make sure that we're doing good, thorough pre-marks of our excavation area in white paint. Label it ECI, and try to corner off your excavation area as best as can. You can do offsets. You can give them GPS coordinates, all that good stuff. The idea is to get the utility company, locating companies there in a timely fashion and provide us with the known utilities inside our excavation pre-mark areas. So let's continue. We are very strong in our dig safe policies and procedures and our best practices, but let's not get complacent. Let's make sure we're getting out there, establishing our pre-marks ahead of time before we're calling, so the utility locating companies can be as efficient as possible with their time to try to clear out the tickets. So once the tickets have been established, try to hold a quick little pre-construction meeting on site. Try to analyze and figure out how we're going to tackle the utilities that are known in our area. Take photos, establish offsets, utilize our GPS equipment if you have a data collector. If not, maybe contact the surveyors. Maybe they can come out quickly and give us some GPS, record those so we can go back, especially if it's a big site and we're going to be removing a lot of topsoil and it's going to be hard to maintain offsets. GPS equipment could be utilized very well there. It's our responsibility as the excavating contract to maintain the marks. If we lose the marks and we hit the utility, we don't have really anything to stand on when it comes to kind of establishing if the utility was marked properly or not. So if the mark is completely wiped out when we do hit something, it's going to probably be our fault. So we need to do everything in our ability to making sure that we're maintaining marks by utilizing those three things that I mentioned earlier: pictures, offsets, GPS equipment. So try to really communicate that with the crew and all the excavating team on site, so we can pay attention to any changes in direction. That's normally when a utility company or a locator will struggle, is when there is an arc or a change in direction. Sometimes it's very hard to pinpoint those 90s or those 22s, those sweeps that you see with power or comm at times. So those are the areas that we really want to focus on. Those are perfect little pothole areas for us to making sure that we can get depths and location before we cross those types of utilities. Make sure everyone involved is aware of any offsets or marks that may have been compromised. So if a stake does get run over and it's a little bit unknown, again, you can contact health and safety, or if you have a sign locator, don't be afraid to grab that locator, go over that mark and reestablish that offset or that mark, just so we know exactly where that utility is. So don't put your spool piles over the markings. It's another best practice. Avoid driving machinery over stakes or flags, so use spotters. If all the equipment operators out there, if stuff does need to be moved, just communicate that. Be like, hey, I can't get my work done. We're going to have to do 25, 30-foot offsets, whatever it may be. Let's communicate that so we can establish the marks on site, so we don't get in trouble where we forget a utility. That already happened to us once this year, where we forgot where a utility was. We took pictures, we did offsets, but then the offsets got moved and we forgot it, and then bang, we got into a communication line. So let's try our best not to get complacent and not get forgetful out there. Paved areas should be swept periodically so the markings remain visible. Again, it's our responsibility to maintain the mark. So if you see a mark become faded, refresh it using the assigned approved color. Here's just a quick table. Hopefully this is just a refresher for everybody. But again, red is electric, yellow is gas, orange is communication, blue is water, green is our sewer and drainage, and pink should be utilized for all of our construction activities for surveyors or anything that we kind of do to lay out our work. And then white is proposed dig safe marks. All the spray paint is available in the tool crib. I have it all in my truck whenever I'm come visit a site or do any underground locating. If you need a can of paint, just let me know and we'll make sure that you have what you need to maintain those marks. And please, let's try our best to respect the property of others and not excavate and do damage to underground utilities, because power and gas could be very deadly under the right circumstance. So we need to really respect the underground utilities out there. We're very strong in this. We don't have many utility strikes, but again, it's just a variance of how much we're digging and how long our sites are. A lot of trenching and utility upgrades. There's a lot of exposures, a lot of potential. So try your best out there, and let's stay safe. Let's dig safe this upcoming construction season. Ken, anything to add? Ken, you're muted.
There we go. If you have any questions, just check with the safety department. They're more than happy to help out if marks get messed up or need interpretation or whatever.
Exactly.
Okay, I'll take over the screen. Here we go. Okay, do you see my screen?
We have it, Ken.
All right, good. So for announcements, first thing, and today's Good Friday,
Wow.
So happy Easter to everybody.
Wow.
And the 2024 healthcare premium holiday is coming here again. So due to less than expected 2023 healthcare losses through our insurance company, they figure out what we might have as a loss every year for the premium, setting premiums. And if we do better than like we have in the past few years, that we get a rebate credit, which we apply towards premiums and give ourselves a holiday, a healthcare premium holiday. So we'll have a 14-week period again, starting with the April 5th paycheck. It's a great time to boost your pre-tax HSA, your health savings account contribution for future medical expenses.
Yeah.
So the HSA allows you to put money tax free or tax exempt or tax deferred. It depends on how you apply it. And then you get to spend it on any reasonable medical expenses. There's a list of what can be spent on, but it's pretty broad. So did someone have a question or a comment? Okay. So this morning there's some Catamount training group leadership training this morning. So be aware of that. Not this afternoon, we have another event related to training and kickoff of the season. And on April 5th, we will begin enrollment of a supplemental life and accident insurance. So this is something you can obtain on your own. The company already has insurances on every employee, every full-time employee. And you can get additional insurance here. The nice thing is, the key thing is that there's no medical exam needed. So you're automatically accepted, and there's probably has to do with your age and that sort of thing. And if you look for a flyer in this week's payroll, there'll be more information. Our insurance representative will be doing a quick presentation at the end of next week's safety meeting. So if you're interested to learn more right now, then you can check with Gina or Melanie. And next Friday, we have Morgan Stanley Financial Advisors here at the office. A representative will be here on the 24th or on April 5th, 2024. And half-hour meetings are available from 8 a.m. to 8:30 for employees to discuss their account. So check with Melanie and set yourself up. And also, I don't know if everybody has got their insurance cards or not, but I left this on one more week. So they are available. Check with Chico, Pat Wells, Scott Burns for the vehicle assigned to you. And I made it a last call for sugaring photos. We'll put together something next week. I know there's a few more people out there who I haven't had photos from yet. And remember, even if it's a small backyard operation or a more extensive involved type of sugaring operation, whatever you got, if you're just collecting sap, that's fine too. So just send me some pictures if you got them, and we'll put a collection together for a gallery of photos. So sad news here, as I mentioned briefly last week, former long-time ECI employee George Shortsleeve passed away this last weekend or before the weekend. And here's George pouring some concrete for a pile, drilled Stelcourt pile down in Rockingham. And a celebration of George's life is scheduled for April 6th from 3 to 7, so it's Saturday, at the Corbin and Palmer Funeral Home on Pleasant Street in Essex Junction. So it's a week from tomorrow. I have a connection, a link to his obituary, and also a collection of some photos of, like the one above, of George at ECI. So sad news there. George will be missed. He was a great, friendly guy. And let's see, this is the OKO Big Change Roundup. And this is an event, obviously, from OKO to support the University of Vermont Children's Hospital. And the idea is that any free change goes into a bucket, and it's submitted to the fund, and it's given to the UVM Children's Hospital. And over the past couple of years, ECI employees raised a total of $542 in change. I assume we're doing it some more.
We don't have another bucket yet, but Sarah had that big bucket in her office that we all put money in. That was the 542.
That's amazing.
So maybe someone could get her a new bucket, because she cut it in half.
It again is obviously very successful. So I assume and it's easy to, clean out your pocket change when you're in Sarah's office and donate it to a good cause. So something that happened here last week was setting up our new ECI weather station. This is at on the roof of 4540, the administrative building, and it's a so-called personal weather station. And Matt's there installing it. You got to plug it in. Matt, that's why it wasn't working. You didn't have it plugged in. See the cord dangling there.
Oh.
So ECI recently installed this Crestle-Met 6000, and it can be accessed by anyone through the internet through either Wunderground or the Ambient Weather Networks. And I have a couple links there.
Do we need any passwords or anything, Ken, or is it just it'll be open?
Let's see if I don't know if I click this, is it going to show up for everybody?
I don't know.
Let's see. Oh, you're sharing a screen. Yeah, okay. So do you see that my screen change?
No,
No?
you might need to go to your share and
I have to reshare it?
probably.
Yeah. Okay. Well, let's see. Here, it'll take a moment. And so I'm going to stop share and share again, I guess. Share. And no. There's no weather station. So
Maybe we didn't plug it in yet.
oh, whoops! It's got an add-on now because it's.
I
just
we
see
get
it.
to watch a movie first.
Yeah.
So
So
you're an ad, right? Yeah. There you go.
Yeah.
Oh, that's awesome.
32 degrees now. The wind is out of the northwest, 0. So it's pretty calm. And I'll tell you, I've been watching that thing. It's at a good spot to pick up wind, and it zips along all the time. So I'm surprised it's 0. But see, there's other local stations, personal stations here, and probably the airport station that might be there somewhere. And it gives you a good sense too. If it says 32 and everyone's 31, 34, 33, you know, you're probably right. So there's also a record that's kept. So you can go back to any particular day and view the results, a summary of the day. And also there's a chart showing the temperature change, or the actual temperatures, and wind and precipitation, at least rain. There's nothing for snow, but I can go back a day that shows up, and it's yesterday's results. It can go right back for whatever. So I will go unshare again. If I can find the right screen. There we go. Stop sharing. And I'm going to reshare my other window. So yeah, it's just a click and you get right to it. So I have it on my, even on my screen, on my phone screen, main home screen, so that I can just click it and go. So for new employees this week, we have 3 of them. We have Michael Redman, he's a driver, and Elena Allard, obviously a familiar last name. She is the admin marketing person we hired. And then we have Michael Jerome in concrete. So welcome, everybody. I have a link to the ECI Primary Care Wellness Program, as always. And for the project of the week, we're just going to talk about ECI snow removal, or show some pictures, I should say, more than anything. And I'm kind of saying so long to winter and bring on spring here. So hopefully
till next week, Ken.
Yeah, well, yeah. I know. Hey, I always say, just when you're really sick of winter, then you only have 2 more storms left.
Yeah.
Right. So I was able to capture a few of the photos from the security cameras. This is out front, obviously, in front of 4540, and looking onto Wilson Road. And I love these nighttime pictures. The colors just pop, and you'll see in the next picture here, colors don't quite pop during the daytime when it's snowing out. but it was a busy weekend with all the snow. We got a fair amount. I don't know what we really got in Burlington. I know I did quite a bit of snow removal at my place. A lot of hand shoveling as always throughout the winter and applying chloride. And then we have obviously a few different salt trucks. This is the smaller 1-ton salt truck. You want to pass through the front gate. This is Twin Craft, so this is over on River Road. Yeah. And another one of the mall. It's amazing how quickly it goes nowadays with pushers, as the guys who do it know. I can remember we would all have plow trucks out there at the mall. And it would be like everyone would have their spot. I remember I always ended up at Hannaford's or whatever, Hannaford's over there. Can't remember if it was always Hannaford's. And then we, just pushing snow, and you had to be pretty methodical about it with a pickup truck. And I got this picture from our security system. It's kind of cool. It's pushing a good load of snow. You can see how much it really collects the snow with these pushers. It does a nice job. This next one shows us how wide a pass we can do. So this, back up here a little bit, this is our license plate reader at the north gate. We have one at the north gate and south gate. You can't really read the license plate on the loader right there, but as it gets closer, you definitely can. It's a great security camera feature we have to look for problems, because sometimes people are tempted to come into our yard and drive away with stuff. So we are able to track people in and out that way. So just so you know, everybody. So the photo archives. This was 2007 during the Valentine's Day storm. That was a record-setting snowfall at that time. I don't know if the record stands or not still, but it was 23.5 inches in just 24 hours. And I think overall it was the second highest snow recorded event in Burlington at that time too. So that was out over our stormwater ponds, where we always pushed the snow and put it in there to stockpile snow from the mall and other places. But it was quite a pile then. Quite a bit of haul. Yeah, it was a mountain snow. All right, that's what I got. I'll turn it back over to the safety department, and have a good day out there. Safe day.
Yep, just make sure Monday the 8th that we're not looking at the sky during the eclipse, and make sure if you have any pets that they're inside, not near any windows, because Ben, you can probably elaborate on it more, but the pets like to look at it, I guess. So
Yeah.
Like we should have more to say about it next Friday, I'm sure.
Yep.
Because it's expected to affect traffic and a lot of stuff. So we'll be coming up with a plan next week.
Yeah, we got several of our jobs that are even shut down.
Right. Right.
So yeah, the next week's great, Ken. We'll talk about it.
Yep.
All right, if you're watching a group setting, please send over a text message or email. I've already received a lot, so thank you for that. So we can figure out who missed and give them that information. Let's have a safe day. Let's have a great day.
Hey, see you later.
Later, guys.